My husband kicked me out over a silly fight, thinking I'd beg to return, but I earn more than him, buy the house myself, and leave him shocked. Hey everyone, I grew up in a very abusive household. As usual, the parental abuse I faced has warped my sense of reality a lot. I'm not very proud of my traumatized mindset, but it is what it is. I struggle with setting boundaries for myself. I struggle to protect myself, and I often struggle to take care of myself. Now I can understand that these things can be quite heavy, and they are quite heavy on me sometimes, but I push through. I force myself to push through everything that I feel, because I know that I have the strength in me to deal with them. I should just not let my intrusive thoughts overwhelm me. My mental health problems are no secret, but I do not let them hold me back, because while they explain why I behave the way I do, they do not excuse my behavior. But these issues are not just cons, they have their pros too. I'm a very diligent worker due to my perfectionist mindset. I am great at communication because of my abusive parents who always look for a reason to hurt me. You get the drift. I started working when I was about 16, and I've never stopped. I cannot tell you a single time when I was jobless since I was 16. As I grew up in such a volatile family, I made a promise to myself that I will take care of myself to the best of my capabilities, which included being able to provide for myself financially. So I'm a very bougie on a budget type of person. I'm frugal. Some people might consider me stingy, but I know that saving money, investing money, and doing my best to increase the money inflow has done me well over the last few years. Now that I'm 29, I can promise you that I am very stable financially, even though I do not look like it. This is important. When I was 25, I met my husband. We got married when I was 28 and he was 30. My husband is not like me. He grew up in a very privileged household. He does not know what it's like to struggle financially. He also does not understand why I hate my family. He's one of those people who are like, but they are your family, you should forgive them. While these things about him got on my nerves, the rest of him was fine. One would have considered this a red flag, as our mindsets are different when it comes to this, but in my eyes, I thought that is what makes everyone different. I come with red flags too, but we can work on those if we communicate, compromise, and adjust. I tried explaining my abusive past to my husband, but he did not quite get it. When I told him the story of me essentially running away from the house just to be safe, he laughed because the visual of a 9-year-old girl doing jailbreak was hilarious to him. In his mind, the fault of my parents being on a drug-induced frenzy for 3 days while keeping me locked in the bedroom did not leave a mark. I won't lie, that hurt. It hurts when you try to explain how you feel to someone, and the significance a particular situation had on you, and the person dismisses it. My therapist suggested that owing to his environment growing up, he cannot comprehend the trauma, and while it is right, I expected a little sympathy from him. This lack of sympathy that he has towards me is what eventually started bothering me. I swear, during our relationship, I never felt like he was an unsympathetic person, but now that we're living together, married, and going through the trials and tribulations of married life together, I'm starting to see his unsympathetic side more often, and I cannot say I like what I see. This whole trait of his led to me doing what I did. So, as I have mental health issues, I get overwhelmed by social interactions all day. I desperately need personal space and my time. This is why when we're looking for a place to stay, we went with the apartment that we are currently staying in, as it has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. One of the smaller bedrooms is my bedroom. I've decorated it in whichever way I wanted. I keep my PC, gaming consoles, snacks, books, and everything there. I would not call it my office, as it has a very childish vibe to it with all of my Hello Kitty plushies. The idea of turning that into my room originated to heal my inner child, and honestly, I love my room very much. Cleaning my room and meticulously organizing it is almost therapeutic to me. My husband was okay with me having the smaller bedroom as my room, but since Thanksgiving, he does not want me to have my room. Why? Because his friends came for Thanksgiving dinner, and while I was on my way home, one of them decided to snoop around and entered my room. Owing to the childish vibe of the room, they think it is weird and strange that I, an adult woman, have a room decked out in pink and purple. My husband, instead of defending me or saying anything, decided that it is very emasculating for him that I have a room like that, and it is embarrassing for him when I act like that. I know it is pretty nonsensical. During Easter, his friends came over again, even though I did not want them to come. I had to go for an extra shift on Easter, so I did not know they had come, but when I came home, my husband was super mad. He was all up in my business because how dare I do this? I should care about his image and his comfort first. He is my husband, the man of the house, and I need to be done with this childish. When I tried to tell him that this is my house just as much as this is his, He told me that this is his house because his name is on the lease and I need to sit and listen. If I cannot listen to what he has to say, I should leave. I understandably was angry, and we got into a heated argument over my Hello Kitty plushies. He even said things like he earns for the family, and that he does not want the money to go wasted behind childish things, even though he does not buy my plushies. At one point, he put all of them in a bag and threw them out of the house. I am attached to them, so I ran out of the house to get them back, and my husband locked the door behind me. Previously, over smaller arguments than this, my husband has done this, not slamming the door on my face but more like emotionally punishing me for behaving badly. I could deal with those, but when he heard something that was healing me, it pissed me the frick off. I did not knock on the door of the house or beg him to let me back in. I was out chilling on the porch with my Hello Kitty plushes when my landlord's wife saw me. She took me home and asked me if everything is all right. I told her that I was just having a bad day at work and did not want to go home. That led to us having some small talk. While talking, she mentioned that the landlord is looking for someone to sell the property we're living on. He had been wanting to speak with me, but as my husband is not the most social person, he did not approach him. The opportunity presented itself to me, and I decided to take it. I waited until the landlord was home from work, and I spoke with him regarding the price. What he was asking for was far less than I was expecting. It was not too out of my budget either. Sure, money would be tight for a few months, but if I take up the opportunity of being a travel nurse, I would be able to make up for it. After thinking over the decision for a good 30 minutes, I told my landlord that he can prepare the documents. Once the talking was done, I made my way back to the house and entered the house. My husband asked me cockily if I was ready to apologize. I looked him dead in the eyes and told him that I earned more than him, and he can leave the house if he feels emasculated living with Hello Kitty plushies. He was shocked. He told me that I could not treat him this way, and I told him that I was giving him an option. He stopped speaking with me and decided to give me the cold shoulder. 2 days later, I signed the papers, and when I came home, I found my husband in my room throwing everything in a garbage bag. You can imagine the irritation I felt, so in my moment of weakness, I kicked him out of the house. I told him that this is my house, and I do not want him there anymore. Since then, he has told our common friends and his friends about this, and I've been receiving several messages calling me a crazy for kicking him out over Hello Kitty plushes. What would you guys have done if you were in my shoes? Update 1, I cannot thank you guys enough, honestly. You guys are so understanding. Thank you for validating my emotions and letting me know that I am not crazy for doing what I did. The issue really isn't about the Hello Kitty, it is about the disrespectful behavior towards my space and me. I'm glad you guys see it, and honestly, the fact that his friends do not see it tells me that this man is not the man for me. I see a lot of you guys telling me that I should get a divorce, and I can't lie, that does sound like a better solution, but I don't know if I should, you know. Update 2. My husband decided to break into my house while I was at work and destroy my PC. Lucky for me, the neighbors across the street saw him breaking my PC in the front yard, and they testified when I brought it up to the police. I'm bringing charges against him. I've already spoken with my lawyer and have prepared papers for separation. This definitely symbolizes the end of our relationship. Update 3. So, turns out the friends who found it so emasculating to see Hello Kitty plushes in my bedroom were the ones who instigated him to break into the house and destroy the PC. He had to break in because the moment I kicked him out, I changed the password in our security systems, and while he did his best to cover the camera, it captured his face for a split second. Plus, the neighbor saw him breaking things. He told the jury that he broke into the house to rip those plushies up, but lucky for me, I started carrying those plushies with me in my car as I was sure he was going to do something stupid. I got the money for the damages, filed for separation, and got a restraining order against him. Overall, I'm glad that I do not have to surround myself with someone who does not want to be a part of my healing journey and simply wants to bring me down. Your husband is a terrible person. You deserve someone who supports you even if they do not understand what you're going through, and this is not the way to deal with it. Plus, why are his friends going through your stuff in your room? Why does it matter that you have a Hello Kitty plushie or 4? Some people spend a fortune on squishmallows, man, and you are buying them with your money. You are a nurse, and you are allowed to have your me time. You are saving people's lives, and he does not want to respect you as a person. Man felt emasculated because you have 4 Hello Kitty plushes, lol. Yeah, get rid of that child. You deserve better, hon. Next story, so basically, 19 female, I was having lunch with my friend Sarah, 20 female, her new boyfriend Sam, 21 male, and a few of our other friends. English isn't my first language, so I do have a bit of an accent when I say certain words, and sometimes I fumble a bit grammatically, but it's never been too bad that no one knew what I was getting at. My friends all know this, and they also know that if I'm not asking to be corrected, and the sentence is understandable, They don't really need to correct me. Sam noticed while we were talking that I had an accent, so he asked me where I was from. I said that my dad is from the US, but my mom was from Brazil, so I spoke Portuguese and sometimes Spanish at home. But I only ever learned how to read and write in English. Sam kind of laughed and then said, "Your mom was from Brazil. How does someone stop being Brazilian?" The word you should have used was is. My mom passed away when I was 12. Pretty much everyone at the table other than Sam was aware of that, so it got a little awkward and quiet when he corrected me. I shook my head and told him that no, my mother didn't stop being Brazilian, she just stopped being alive. So that's why I said was. Sarah immediately got kind of pissed at me and said I didn't have to trauma dump at the table just because her boyfriend corrected the word I used in a sentence. I said that I wasn't really trauma dumping, I was just answering his question. But she said I should have known how awkward it would get when I said something like that and I should have just moved on without addressing it. Lunch ended early because of the tension, and everyone else is telling me that yeah, I didn't really have to say it, but also I really was just responding to what he said to me. Sarah's pissed at me though, and I've no idea how Sam feels about the whole thing because I don't really know him. I wanted to know if I messed up here, and if I should apologize. I failed to see how you're at fault. He didn't have to be an and correct your grammar. He played the stupid game, and he won a stupid prize. He shouldn't have been insensitive. NTA. Sarah needs a reality check. Why is it okay for her boyfriend to correct you over an opinion he didn't give you a fact because he assumed context? All you did was literally answer him. Opinion 2. NTA. Sam sounds like an arrogant and your friend Sarah isn't a friend at all. Instead of empathizing with you, the one who lost her mom at an early age, she's worried about her new boyfriend's feelings. Not that it sounds like he has any. That's messed up. She should be the one apologizing to you. Next story, my sister, let's call her Hannah, isn't speaking to me right now because I RSVP'd no to her wedding in January. My mom wants me to change my RSVP, but honestly, the wedding isn't going to be possible for me to attend, and based on how my sister is acting, I don't want to go anymore. Ever since I had puberty, I've had really bad insomnia. I usually go to bed around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and wake up around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. I've tried to change my sleep style, and I just can't. It's like dealing with international jet lag. Hannah knows this but always forgets and tries to wake me up for family things whenever she visits home, and I have to lock my bedroom door and really work to keep her out. When I got the invitation to Hannah's wedding, I was super excited for her because she has always wanted a big wedding and it looks like she's going to get it, and that might not be what I want or would want, but she does, and that is exciting. And I can acknowledge that, but then I saw the timeline, and there's a wedding brunch at 10 a.m. The ceremony is at noon, and then there's an afternoon party. I asked Hannah if I could just come to the afternoon party since I will be sleeping at 10 a.m., and she got furious and started yelling over the phone about how, since I'm her sister, I need to be there for the ceremony. I laughed and told her there was no way I could be there in time because it would basically be like trying to get someone on a 9-to-5 work schedule to attend an event at 2 a.m. I probably shouldn't have laughed, but it just felt so ridiculous. If she wanted me to be there for the whole thing, she needed to plan for a time when I could actually attend. I work a full-time job as a freelancer, not just normal hours because of my insomnia. So it really bugs me when people act like my time is worth less than theirs. But now wedding preparations are happening at the house. The brunch is going to be here, and my mom is really upset with me for not coming to the wedding. She wants me to apologize to Hannah and be one of her bridesmaids. Hannah isn't speaking to me at all, but she is speaking to our mom, so maybe that is what she also wants. But I just feel like she owes me the apology, not the other way around. But I might be wrong because this is the first big fancy wedding in our family. And maybe I need to suck it up because it's a tradition to have a morning breakfast or something. Aita? Edit. Okay, that was Universal AATA. I will apologize to Hannah and ask if I can still attend the wedding. I think it is probably best if I'm not a bridesmaid, but I can still put on a dress and show up even if I'm tired. Thank you to everyone that sent in medical tips. I am realizing that I need to get a second opinion that isn't our family doctor because she is actually kind of dismissive about my sleep issues, and I used to like that because she made my mom calm down and she supported me with the doctor's note for online high school. But some of you mentioned high blood pressure and delayed sleep phase disorder, and I want to talk to someone who is at least willing to investigate that with me. Edit 2, sorry I meant I am the a-hole is universal and I get it. Edit 3, update. I sat down and talked with my mom about the situation with Hannah, and it was rough, but I think she understands a little better now where I'm coming from and is going to help me find a sleep specialist to go to. I asked her if she thought I should call Hannah directly or if she should talk to her first, and she said I should do it, so I tried calling, but she didn't pick up, so I sent her an apology text, no response yet, but I said sorry. for laughing and for acting self-centered, and if she would still like me to be at the wedding, I would be happy to attend, but that I probably shouldn't be a bridesmaid, but I could do other things at the wedding like pass out stuff, and I just want to make sure she has a good time. I don't know if she will forgive me, but I do feel better now that I'm trying. I have also been watching a lot of videos on sleep rhythm disorders, and a lot of symptoms in my life make more sense now, so seriously, a big thank you to everyone who gave me tips and ideas for what to search and what to ask. My new sleep doctor once I find one with my mom. YTA for expecting events to be planned around you, for laughing, and for not caring enough about her wedding to consider talking to a doctor for help if this happened in puberty. How did you attend high school?